Tomato growing success starts with putting your tomatoes in the garden at the right time. You know, you plant too early and the frost can kill them, and you plant too late and you may not get any ripe tomatoes. So today I'd like to share with you the best time to plant tomatoes in your garden and how to make a quick frost protection cover. All right, so let's get started with how to determine when to put the tomatoes in the garden. So tomatoes are frost tender plants and they cannot take a frost. So the first step is to look up your average last frost date for your area. And to do this, do an internet search on the words average last frost date and your city and your state. Put those in a search and this will give you a date. So this date is the key to knowing when to plant your tomatoes outside. Now for me in Colorado, our average last frost date is May 15th. This is the day that I will aim for to plant my tomatoes in the garden. But before I put the tomatoes in the garden, I will look at the 10-day forecast, and if it has a frosty night predicted, I will not plant the tomatoes outside yet. I will wait for the storm to pass. Then I'll check the forecast again and see if it's going to be above freezing temperatures in the next 10 days ahead. And if it is, then I will go ahead and plant. So once planted, I will watch the weather forecast and I will cover the tomatoes if it's predicted to go below 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I will use only one weather station for my information source. What I find that is if I watch the same weather forecast, I can compare that with my garden, and then I can get a feel for how many degrees the forecast can be off for my particular garden. So typically my garden can drop 4 degrees lower than the forecast. Therefore, I cover the plants when it's predicted to go to 36 degrees Fahrenheit. So I have my frost protection system ready, and I do this so I don't have to run outside in my pajamas to try to save my tomato plants. All right, before we get to the easy to make frost protection system, I'd like to invite you to sign up for our free high performance garden show. And in the show, you can learn how to grow $2,500 worth of organic vegetables in 128 square feet with only a 15-minute a day commitment. If you're interested, you can check out our high performance garden show. It's free. It's online, and you can find it on our website, thelivingfarm.org/high-performance-garden-show. There's over 8 full seasons and over 260 episodes to watch and learn from. Okay, here's our easy to make frost protection system. Alrighty, I want to just show you a quick way to make a frost protection system. It has 3 parts. You got to have a plastic layer, an insulative layer, and a frame. So I just want to show you a sample. So on this one here, let's start on the inside. This is the frame that I've chosen. This is a piece of cement mesh. You get it at the lumberyard. And it just is bent to where I have just some little feet that are sticking in here to hold that in place. And that keeps the covers up off the plants. So we have the plants, we have that layer, and then next we have the insulative layer. Now this is a 3-ounce insulative cover. They're pretty hard to come by, but you can order a 1.5-ounce insulative cover. Just get 2 of those and put that on. That'll give you really good frost protection. And if you can't get any insulative covers, you can use blankets, comforters, 3 or 4 layers of sheets, towels, whatever you have. But the insulative covers are really nice. Now, if the insulative cover or your towels or sheets, they get wet, let's say it's going to rain or snow and then it's going to freeze, they won't insulate. So the next piece is to have a piece of plastic. This happens to be a piece of 6mm greenhouse film. This is just left over from when we changed the roofs out on our buildings. If you have greenhouses in your area that use the polyfilm, you can ask them if they have any extra plastic that they'll give away, because a lot of times you're changing a roof, you got more plastic than you can use, so it's a good way to get some cheap plastic. But you want the plastic, if it's got a hole in it, tape it. So you want the hole to keep the insulative cover dry, and that should get your tomato plants through probably temperatures as low as like 27, 28 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a really great system. I use it for all my plants, whether it's lettuce, tomatoes, broccoli, whatever it is. So I always use this 3-layer system. And you can make any kind of frame that you want. Just make sure you got frame, insulative cover, and a layer of plastic to keep the insulative cover dry. If you'd like to learn more about tomatoes, check out our Tomato Success playlist right here.